Jesus did quote the Apocrypha. What I'm about to show you in this 1793 King James Bible is about to blow your mind. Let's take a look. It's in the Holy Book. In Matthew 23:37, Jesus says, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them which are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even as the hen gathered her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. When we look over in the margin, we find Luke 13:34, 2 Chronicles 24:21, Deuteronomy 32:11 and 12, 2 Esdras 1:30. What? Isn't that the Apocrypha? Let's turn back to 2 Esdras 1:30. I gathered you together as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings. But now what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out of my face. That parallel is so unique that it's almost undeniable. So the next time someone says Jesus never quoted the Apocrypha, send them this video, because it's revelations like this that change everything we thought. Throughout history, the Bible included the Apocrypha. The original 1611 King James Version incorporated the Apocrypha between the Old and New Testaments. The 1560 Geneva Bible included the Apocrypha. The 1539 Great Bible not only included the Apocryphal books, but astoundingly labeled them the Hagiographa, Holy Writings. Look it up. The 1535 Cloverdale Bible included the Apocrypha. The renowned 1534 Luther Bible included the Apocrypha. The 14th century Wycliffe Bible included the Apocrypha. St. Jerome's Latin Vulgate, dating all the way back to the year 400, housed these deuterocanonical books, emphasizing their importance in early Christian traditions. Finally, the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible, completed somewhere between 300 to 200 BC, included the deuterocanonical books, providing invaluable insights into the historical and cultural context of these writings. The inclusion of the Apocrypha in the Bible has significantly influenced the evolution and interpretation of the Bible throughout time, contributing to the richness and diversity of religious traditions around the world today. Often, it has been said that the books of the Apocrypha are not mentioned in the New Testament. And some go as far as to argue that Jesus and the disciples never quoted these texts at all. However, this claim doesn't hold entirely true. Subtle but intriguing connections do exist. While no book of the Apocrypha is explicitly named, there are some indirect acknowledgments given in the New Testament. Let's shine a light and look. It's in the Holy Book. In the first 5 books of Moses, the foundation of Jewish festivals are established. All the festivals, Passover, unleavened bread, first fruits, Pentecost, the Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, and the Feast of Tabernacles are all found in the Torah. However, a surprise awaits those of us who pay close attention to the text. In this instance, the Gospel of John. And it was at Jerusalem, the Feast of Dedication, and it was winter. John writes that during the Feast of Dedication in Jerusalem, Jesus walked into the temple. But intriguingly, the Feast of Dedication is not found or established in the books of Moses, the Torah. Have you heard of it? If you haven't, then maybe you've heard of Hanukkah. Yes. What makes this revelation so intriguing is that the historical events that led to what we now know of as Hanukkah is only recorded in the apocryphal book of Maccabees. Maccabees is not part of the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, nor is it any longer printed as part of our 66-book canon. However, it provides the essential historical context for the Feast of Dedication. The fact that Jesus observed this festival, as mentioned by John, is an example of how subtle details can point to interesting revelations. John's mention of this overlooked detail highlights the importance of paying close attention to the text and being open to new discoveries when we read the Bible. The Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah, though not in the Torah, yet recorded in the Apocrypha, is acknowledged in the New Testament. It serves as a reminder that a deeper understanding of the biblical narrative often requires recognizing subtle connections and historical references, even those that go beyond the traditional canon. Happy Hanukkah. The Apocrypha. You've heard of it. But do you know the truth? These ancient biblical texts will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. In everyday thought, the term Apocrypha is understood to define something that is hidden or obscure. But there's nothing hidden at all or even mysterious about these books called the Apocrypha. Despite misconceptions, this word doesn't mean fake either. You can see that these books are truly there. They were contained within the covers of the Bible from the 150 BC Septuagint to the 19th century King James Version. In theological terms, the label Apocrypha refers to books that have been put out of the fight or out of sight. In other words, non-canonical books. Yet they are deuterocanonical to our Orthodox and Catholic brothers and sisters. If we shine light on its religious context, the term Apocrypha distinguishes writings that are not considered authoritative. Protestants define only authoritative books as canonical. But here's the truth. These apocryphal texts offer profound insights, subtly referenced throughout the New Testament, and were revered as part of the Bible for over 1,800 years until their removal from the Protestant canon just 138 years ago. So when you hear the term Apocrypha, think of it as an untold chapter in the grand story of
comparison here. So this is the Bible whenever it was first converted into the King James Bible. And this is a King James Bible from the 70s. Quite a big difference. There's lots of reasons why that's so much smaller. So in 1611, when this Bible was printed, there were still books of the Bible that are not in our Bible today. What's up with the missing books? Today I'm going to show you them. If you can tell, it is the names and order of all the books in the Old and the New Testament with the number of their chapters. We can see the Old Testament, and the only thing that changed was some of the spelling in the 1600s, where language was more poetic and some of the letters were different. But either way, this is still the exact same Old Testament that we have today. This is where it's different. The book's called Apocrypha. So there were 14 books of the Apocrypha that was taken out of the Bible. And as you can tell, it had the Old and New Testament, and then in the middle there's the books called the Apocrypha. And here list all the ones that there were. There's 14. I'll let you get a better look at it. I have personally read all of them. Throughout this week, we're going to do a study on the Apocrypha. So just how much out of this Bible was taken out? That much. One reason was authenticity. One reason was to condense the Bible so that it could be easy selling. Another reason was politics.
Year 1684, the Vatican removed 14 books from the Bible. There were originally 80 books in the Bible when it was translated from Latin to English back in 1611. These days there are only 66. The missing books are known as the Apocrypha, which in Greek means hidden. The missing books include Esdras, Tobit, Judith, the Wisdom of Solomon, the Songs of the Three Holy Children, Bel and the Dragon, Maccabees, and the Prayer for Manasseh. Even stranger is that Jesus' name was spelled Aesus before these 14 books were removed. Some say the contents of the books didn't fit in with the Roman Catholic Church's narrative, so they were removed. But there is no real answer. But for whatever reason, the Catholic Church chose to remove them from the Bible so that the Word of God was exactly what they wanted it to be.